drop me off in Rotherham.
Comes for more. 2 for Jensen, 2 for Rotherham. Shoots. Ravel. Vicious, but brilliant. The sweetest feeling for Rotherham United. Wood's got round the back, and Richard Wood has done it again. It's done. It's Georgie Kelly.
Do me a favour, drop me off in Rotherham.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to New York Talk. This is the Rotherham United podcast. Thank you all for being with us as we will look ahead to one of the toughest tests of the season. Well, certainly so far, a trip to an informed Luton town during the international break. We will talk all things Rotherham United, Virtue Trophy information, manager of the month nominations, and a former manager having his say. We'll cover all that. Mick's with us. How is life going, Mick?
It's going.
Okay. Nice and positive. Well done. Well done.
No, you're welcome. You asked.
And the league leader of the New York Top Prediction League is with us. How's it going, Sam?
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. You made a comment before we went on air.
Exactly. You feel it pressure soon. He's got to be kicking in soon, this pressure, Sam. This league's got to be quick getting to you at some point.
I'll let it slip.
Usually, you says, good evening, one and all. Never a true word. He says the biggest test so far. Terry Femby and Darren Cook are also with us. Richard the Miller says, evening, all 15 minutes into the England game and he's bored. Bazza and the Mighty Millers are with us. Chris Pace says, hi all. Matt Taylor comments about obviously. Yes, we will come on to that. I've got the clip up that we can talk about from Gab Sutton's really good chat. I say really good. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but the bit I've seen is really good. First of all, Mick, you haven't put the banner across the bottom of the screen. Would you like to remind everybody to go watch Lee at the Cutlers in 2 weeks on Saturday?
Yeah, there you go. Banner, bottom of the screen. Cutler's Arms, 29th of November. LPM3 in aid of Rotherham Hospice. It's the Milliman 25 thingy. So hopefully we'll be having Leon on Sunday to plug it some more. And then the following Thursday we'll plug it some more. And possibly the following Sunday we might plug it as well. Give or take, maybe the following Thursday. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing yes.
I've heard the rumour that Mick might be there. And if you take a pen, Mick will sign anything you want. So even more reason to get a ticket. So yeah,
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, right. Let's move. Let's talk about Rotherham United a little bit about Rotherham United. We'll talk about the game sort of a little bit, Sam. Obviously, we did the instant reaction after Saturday, straight after the game. Did your kind of mood on or thoughts change on the game? Because we were all very, very positive after the game. Did it stay very, very positive? Did it higher or lower? Where did you kind of change as your mind thought about it more?
Yeah, I watched it back on the the EFL highlight show thing as well. And there were more chances than I remembered at the time, to be honest. I think by the highlights, it looked like we dominated even more than I remembered we did. So, yeah, more positive than I was at the time. And that takes some doing.
It did. We were all very, very happy. Very, very happy. Yeah, Mick, well, we're going to this tape list this weekend. We're one of the form teams in the EFL. I think there's only Derby, which have picked up more points over the last 5 or 6 games than we have. But that doesn't include the cup games. You know, we've won 2 Virtue Trophy games in that time, and technically drawn an FA Cup game as well. So this run is very, very good. Luton is a tough test. This is a different test we're coming up against with Jack Wilshere, having won 4 games in a row with 2 of those in the cup. Two teams fancying themselves, which is not very normal in football. It tends to be one side really don't fancy it. I think both teams will fancy themselves.
Yeah, I think you're right, and there's no to choose between either team in league either, is there? I think they're the same points as us. I think.
So 9 for them, yeah.
Yeah. So it's nailed on draw, isn't it? And quite honestly, if you offer me that now, I'm having it.
I would as well.
100%. Yeah, difficult. It's difficult to say. I accept that they're a form team, but they're halfway up league, same as we are. So the argument is that this season suggests there's nothing to fear, like anybody else in this league. In reality, yeah, it's going to be a tough test, a really tough test. But you've got to beat the teams in and around you as well. So, but we are away from home, and our away home form is still it's patchy. It's better than it has been. It's now patchy. We've now
upgraded
patchiness in our away form.
Yeah, we've gone from being really, really bad to patchy, which is definitely an upgrade from where
it's
we
absolute
were.
Upgrade.
It couldn't go any worse, though, could it? Really?
Well, it would have took a lot to get worse. It would have took a real effort to get worse than that. Luton are in form, Sam, but to add a bit of context to it, yes, they've won 4 games in a row, and the last one was a 3-0 win at Stockport, which is brilliant. You can't take anything away from that, and I wouldn't even try. But the other 2 games were Forest Green at home, where they blew a 3-0 lead and still managed to get a winner in the last few seconds. The other one was a 3-1 win against Brighton's under-21s in the Virtue Trophy. And the other one was a 1-0 win at Northampton, which, again, we won. You cannot take away from that. But that 4-game winning run is actually, realistically, if we're talking about real football, says the man who's counting FA Cup draw as a draw.
And Manchester City under-21s.
Manchester City under-21s. But it's not, you go, oh my God, it's a 4-game winner. That's amazing. You look at it a little bit and it's not as impressive as it sounds, he says.
No, if we would have got this in September, I wouldn't have been looking forward to it one bit. They were probably one of the favourites to win league, weren't they? Obviously, with parachute payments still. But it's looking like they've, obviously, all the money's going onto the new ground in it. So they've not really invested into the squad as much. So they're not to be as feared as they probably would have been to start with before we started the league. So, yeah, there's no reason why we can't beat them. But I'd take a draw beforehand. I'm thinking last time we played him, were that game where Jamie Lindsay scored like really early on, and then we conceded. And we conceded in like last minute or something. Well, did like a Stoke match where we were just like hanging on for dear life. Yeah,
it was Saturday after we beat Sheffield United in the midweek.
Yeah,
that's how long ago it was. Also, I spoke to Lewis who's got a YouTube channel on Luton. He says their home form is very patchy. And if you look at it, it really is. They lost at home to Mansfield. The last win at home was at Donny in September. In that time, they also lost at home to Plymouth. They went to Lincoln and got beat up 3-1. Look what we did to Lincoln at the weekend as well. They beat Peterborough. Sorry, they did beat Peterborough, which is not hard. Bearing in mind where Peterborough are at the moment. But Harris, it's been a while since we've played away. Hopefully, the curse hasn't been regained. Yeah, it's been Do you read anything into the fact that most of this hummus run, mate, this great one we've had, mostly been at home? I think we only had 3 away games in that 9 games. Does that matter at all, or are we just saying this is a great one and try not to take anything away from it?
I think the time's got to be very close where we start to forget about the previous away history and take it game by game. We're not playing badly at all. We're playing very, very, very well in patches. Last Saturday, it was for 90 minutes. It's getting more and more. I'd like to say it's getting more and more each game. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that it is getting better and better each game. What question? Oh, away form. Yeah, don't worry about it, mate. We'll be fine. Let's stop talking about it. The away performances haven't been too bad. We've had some decent results away from home. We broke that curse at Barnsley after 5,000 years. And the performance wasn't that bad. We never really looked in any danger there. No, to be perfectly honest. Probably from an away game, it's the least danger we've looked in all season at Barnsley. Yeah. So, and they're not a bad side, apparently. So they tell us.
Well, if they win their games in hand, I think they'll go into automatic places. So they really got something about them.
Yeah. So let's not worry about it being away from home. Let's concentrate on just getting that performance in like we have been doing. And I think we'll be all right if we do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And what's also interesting to watch in the game coming up, Sam, is that we've got us at the minute who are probably very good, but we're more effective than a brilliant footballing team. You know, we've gone into a team who kind of takes their chances, quite effective, quite efficient, and then coming up against Luton Town, who are trying to play in Jack Wilshere's kind of image. They're trying to be a more attacking footballing team, trying to use the ball a little bit more. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's only been there for 5 games, I think. So it's going to be interesting how much of an impact he has had against Matt Hamshaw, and the kind of impact that Matt Hamshaw's had of being, well, difficult to break down, difficult to score against them. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two styles contrast on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, I think we do seem to do better against them teams who try passing it, especially if you've got Nombe in the team, especially for pressing. I think we do a lot better against them sort of teams. And I think pretty much every match, apart from Lincoln, we've probably had the least amount of shots compared to the other team, but we've been way more clinical with them. So it's not a bad thing if we're that efficient. It's something we lacked last season. Last season. So I hope they do. I hope they do try pass it right back. That'd do us a favour.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, absolutely. We've always done well against teams that try to play it back. Russ Martin being a particular funny example. The man who struggles against us. Hadders says Cody and Raggett injury setbacks once again. Do you think we need to cut ties with them? Yeah, Raggett's out for another 2 weeks, Mick. I haven't seen the Coyote update. If anyone wants getting specifics on the Coyote update, let us know. But Raggett again 2 weeks away. We said a few weeks ago when he came back on a sub twice, you're thinking, okay, this is it. Even if he just comes on a sub like in the Barnsley game, I think whoever played at home, Leighton Orient, when he came on, just was a bully for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, where he was. That's really, really useful. It helps the team so much. And I think we put it on our group chat, and Danny put, it seems like to be constantly 2 weeks away from being fit every single time we hear about him. And it's just it's a recurring theme that's becoming far too recurring.
It is. It's a shame for him. I suppose he's had a long career, hasn't he? And he's one of those players that we bought at the back end of his career. An injury never seems to be too far away from him, does it? You know, it's like you said, literally plays 2 minutes. He did a Thomas Holmes, didn't he? 1 game and he's out for 3 months. But he's done it. He's done it recurringly. You know, it's not great. It's not great, but I'm not. You know my views. I don't think he's up to scratch at now, given the length of time that he's been away out of football. You know, he's almost been out for 2 seasons or a season and a half, season and a quarter, wherever we are through this season. You know, with the exception of a handful of games. He's a player that's going to take some time to get back up to speed as well. So, it's disappointing because it leaves us short. Yeah. But when we're up to full strength, he wouldn't get a look in. I wouldn't have thought. Maybe on the bench, like you said, for those reasons that you've just outlined. But yeah, I'm not massively disappointed. I'm not going to lie, and maybe that's doing him down a bit. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I did forget about him, to be honest. When I saw the article, I thought, oh, that's not much of a shock.
Yeah, but the thing is, what says a lot about him is that if you were given a straight choice now, Sam, between Hamish Douglas and Sean Raggett, you're picking Hamish Douglas every single day of the week. Yeah. And that kind of shows how the star has risen for Hamish Douglas, that there were not many Rotherham defenders you would pick above him at the minute right now. There might be Tom Holmes, maybe I don't know, but there's probably not 3 that you'd pick above him.
No, definitely not. He's smashing it at the minute, isn't he? 100%.
Yeah. Got himself in the team of the week, EFL. Was it the EFL team of the week or the My Squad or whatever? He got himself in the team of the week last week.
The EFL one, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Paul Davis. Paul Davis did a really good article in the week on Hamish Douglas, as well as shining a light on some of the events of last season. Do you want to talk about that, or should we just try to deeply bury the events of last season? What do you want to do?
Well, allegedly, according to social media, it's an out-and-out lie.
Is it? Who said that? Anyway, no, never mind.
It's not just a massaging of the truth. It's just an out-and-out lie.
I've not seen that.
Who knows? Who'd have thought that would be the case? Nobody at all.
I think all Davis's top fans put stuff like that out.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
popular a minute, isn't he?
Did it? You know, when you read it, did it surprise you?
No,
Not one bit.
not slightly. No. But remember when Evans said that the training facilities were good, by the way? Do you remember that? Just thought it was plant a seed for a conversation in 10 minutes. Yeah. But we're going to leave that. We're going to leave that for now. Virtue Trophy, Mick. We could have got Salford, Tranmere, Lincoln, or Donny in that test. Bolton won 6-2 or whatever it was on Tuesday. So we ended up with Salford again away from home. We shall be probably in December. Could very well be early January, but probably in December. The dates haven't been confirmed. Is this the time to get interested in the tournament, or is it still a couple of rounds too early for you to get any kind of interest?
Once we get to the final, then we can start getting interested, can't we? To be fair, out of those teams, it's probably the best one to get. It's too far away on a night game. We didn't want Donny again, so certainly didn't want whoever other one were.
Lincoln or Tranmere?
Oh well, Lincoln. We could have had Lincoln. Lincoln would have been all right, wouldn't it? They're crap, as we found out last Saturday.
Yeah.
No, not at the moment, but it could be. It could be our 4-yearly trip to Wembley.
Could.
I'll settle for that and an automatic. Thanks.
4 wins away. Last 32, last 16 quarters, and then semis.
Well, listen, last time Matt Amshaw was in the management team at Rotherham United, that's exactly what we did. So
it is. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I just want to point out the madness of Bolton won the group, so in theory got themselves a much more comfortable draw by playing a team who finished second. Same with Salford as well. They finished top of their group, so got an easier draw. Bolton got drawn at home to Bradford, and we finished second and got drawn away at Salford. So I don't think the system really works, if anybody from the EFL is watching. But yeah, we'll all watch it and we'll hope for the best and not worry too much if it don't go well. Are you the same as Mick, Sam, that it's just we're not quite at the interesting part yet? Still, at least maybe the quarterfinal last year we lost to Bradford and there was an okay crowd for that one, but that's a while away, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't mind it actually. The groups are a bit dull, aren't they? But I think as soon as it gets to knockout, it gets a bit more interesting, slightly more interesting. I remember last time with Hartlepool, weren't it, in the semi-final?
Yeah,
that's when everyone's interest perked up.
Yeah,
no one knew who we played before
that. Exactly. Yes, that's a little while away. I don't think only one under-21s team made it through to the knockout round, which I think should be celebrated. Nobody likes a junior team in senior football, but there we are. So yeah, that's Virtue Trophy ticked off. Right, let's cover the Matt Taylor stuff. I have got a little clip that everybody's seen on social media, so we're going to watch the clip because I know that Mick hasn't watched it, and then we will review Mr. Taylor's comments. We'll see you in 50 seconds.
And I probably was too straight and too honest. And one thing I certainly look back on is I tried to improve the infrastructure of the football club. Something which hadn't been done previously. I wanted adequate facilities. I didn't want the best. I wanted enough in terms of players could come into the training ground and their working environment and our working environment and be well fed, well looked after staff-wise, well looked after in terms of gym facilities, have hot showers, train on safe pitches. Something you'd probably think happens at every single professional football club but didn't at the time at Rotherham United. And so I pushed probably some buttons which maybe hadn't been pushed before and were seen as the way I spoke about these areas of investment and the need for them was seen as a little bit of a negative against me.
Right.
Because
so that's Matt Taylor. That's only a very short clip of this chat with Gab Sutton. Like I said, I haven't watched all of it. From what I've seen, it seems like a good chat, and Gab's getting more and more good guests, to be honest with you. So make sure you're checking Gab out. Sam, what's your reaction to that? Because there's quite a lot to pick out there for me. I have opinions, but I'll let you go first. What's your kind of view on that, of him, situation, the training, and everything else?
It weren't a massive shock. After you spoke to Peltz, said pretty much the exact same thing, didn't he? That's two players who have got nothing. They've obviously been at Rotherham United, and then they've got no other links to them. If you compare it to, obviously, Warney, Steve Evans, and stuff like that, who probably didn't want to burn. They could have come out and said it after the first stint, but it's burning bridges and whatever else, isn't it? So they wouldn't have said anything. So, yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest. No, especially about the pitches.
No. Like we've said, Steve Evans said last year that he thinks that the facilities are at standard. We should say there has been an upgrade to the pitches post Matt Taylor. Because of Matt Taylor, the pitches were upgraded in Steve Evans' kind of close season. So that side of things sounds like it has improved, Mick. I'm going to come at this from this angle, because I don't dispute anything he said. And if you believe anything, half of what we hear about Tony Stewart, I imagine he's a very difficult man to work for. And what I'm saying now is not a defense of Tony Stewart, but when you take a job as a manager, you should know what you're walking into.
Mm-hmm.
He should have known that the training facilities weren't up to standard, because he should have had a look around the stadium. And he should know how difficult a man Tony Stewart is to work for. Because again, I imagine as a manager, he has loads more stuff than we do, because he's in the game. So it sounds to me, if it almost came to him as a surprise that these issues were there. And I don't really think that they should have been. He should have known this was a problem for the club. But I'm not a massive fan of the accusation that it wasn't mentioned before. That almost feels like a dig at previous managers not trying to improve things. I'm sure it wasn't meant that way, but that's how it came across to me. Yeah. I'm asking questions that hadn't been asked before. Well, you don't know that, and I didn't think that was smart thing to say, to be honest, with that side of things. That's my dig at Matt Taylor, but also not defending Tony Stewart, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily get that from that short clip. It might have said that outside of what we just listened to, and I'm sure he did know before he came in. And I don't think that's the point that he's making. I think the point that he's making is that the facilities at Roundwood are simply not good enough, and I don't think there can be any argument with that. I know that. I mean, I won't even humour Evans with his discussion on what it's like up there. He doesn't know what the pitches are like. They didn't spend more than 40 minutes on them a day, so he wouldn't know, would he? But they are neglected. They are not good enough. They are not suitable for a team playing at the level that we're playing at, and certainly not championship level. But this is an issue in terms of the amount of money that Tony Stewart's willing to put in. He's a typical Yorkshireman, and he wants to mend and make do. That's probably, given his age and the generation that he comes from, that's how people lived and that's how people made their money. And I don't think he's ever going to change that. No. Whether he gets offended by people telling him they're not good enough, I have no idea. I have no idea. He don't want anybody telling him how to do his job, does he? And I wouldn't have thought. But either way, they're not good enough. It's quite clearly not good enough. I get the impression that Matt Taylor's approached the chairman, told him about it, and been given short shrift. I think that's probably what he's saying, which is hardly a surprise, is it? Because that's what you're going to get from Tony Stewart. It needs some investment, but this chairman's not the man to do that. He's invested a huge amount of his own money into this football club already, and unless the football club is going to make enough money for those improvements to be made, I don't think it's going to come from the chairman. Whether that's right or wrong, we could argue all night, couldn't we? You know, we could go down the route of what you're asking a man to do is dig into essentially his own personal wealth and build you and your players a training ground that to make them feel nice is the way he views it. I would have thought. I don't know for sure, but and to be fair, I've got a certain amount of sympathy for that point of view. You know, he's not going to get any money back for that when he sells the club. I wouldn't have thought. I don't know. He's certainly not going to make his money back, but he didn't come into this to make his money, would he? Did he? So I'm rambling. I know I am, but I've not got a great deal of sympathy for Matt Taylor, because if that is the case, then strap a pair on, mate, and get back in his office and back in his office. You know, what's he going to do? Sack you for telling you for saying you want better facilities? Good luck with that, mate. You know, so you've got to strap a pair on at times when you're dealing with people like Tony Stewart, and you've got to front him up, and you'll lose most times, more times than not, I would have thought. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple of comments. Harry says Taylor says he regrets being too hard on Stewart. He completely disagrees. You should be harder than him. If he's not providing the basics, you tell him that with the confidence that we need those facilities. Rob Dixon has another alternative view. He says, "No, we didn't already know from a bit of fraud of a manager." Scott,
right.
Hot showers is a must though, even at junior level.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. If that's, I mean, he's mentioned that, and we're drawing the implication that there weren't hot showers. He didn't actually say that, did he?
I think he's maybe using that as a kind of
example,
not necessarily example, but you know what I mean. I can't think of the word.
But it wouldn't surprise me. The porta cabins.
That is true.
No.
Yeah.
This is on the point of Andrew. So if Taylor was offered £1 million spent at the club, would he have spent it on the training facilities and Nombe? Again, referring to previous managers, if you recall Paul Warne building what they now refer to as the structure that's there at Brownwood, from what I remember, that came out of the transfer budget. Warne had to take a hit of the transfer budget to build something at the training ground. So the money's a little bit there to spend, but you've got to kind of use it smartly, I guess. Usually said did not spend a few on the training ground. Yeah, Paul Davis reported 250k, maybe a bit more than that on the pitches themselves, not necessarily the facilities. Martin Byrne, Stuart will look at it. It was good for Warney, etc. Maybe Matt Taylor. I respect Matt Taylor hugely, Sam, for a lot of what he does in football and everything else comes along with it. But maybe he just wasn't the right man to deal with Tony Stewart because, as Martin says, Paul Warne managed to get it working first. Steve Evans got it working first time round when the facilities were much worse than what Paul Warne had. Never mind what Matt Taylor came into when he is. So maybe Matt Taylor was just the wrong man to deal with, to get something out of Tony Stewart. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. It also makes you think he come from Exeter, didn't he?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what theirs were like as well at the
Reasonable.
time.
They did invest in it. I don't think it's spectacular. I think it's a lot better than ours.
Yeah, he was a new manager, weren't he, as well? So obviously he'll have come from St George's Park and Exeter and whatever else. If they're obviously all nice, that's all they've seen. And then he comes up to a boggy pitch and a porta cabin. It's a bit of a shock to the system. Question on that though: do club leases it, doesn't it?
Yes.
So what's the deal with? I've never understood this about spending money because they don't own it.
I think that's why one of the reasons that's been suggested as why we haven't invested anything because we don't own it.
Yeah,
because
it just seems like chucking money away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but at the same time, yeah, it is. But then we bought that place at in Brinsworth for it.
Yeah,
and that's allegedly been sold somewhere else. Certainly, Rotherham sign's been taken out. So, yeah, you make a good point. I understand why we've not invested because we don't own it, but at the same time, you've got to
be in limbo.
The Championship. This is not playing League Two, are we? We're in the Championship. We were in the Championship. But you've got to be smart as a manager. We said this about earlier this season about Matt Amshaw, can't we? You've got to be smarter with the tools you've been got. And Matt Amshaw's learned very, very quickly with massive credit to him. I just feel like Matt Taylor maybe just didn't adapt to Rotherham United as a football club. He got us over the line in terms of survival with a bit of helping hand from Warney, but he got us over the line. We're not going to take that away from him. But he just never adapted to the club, I suppose. He was trying to adapt the club to him, where he should have been the other way around, probably.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. We've said it before with Matt Taylor. I have no axe to grind with a bloke. He seems a nice enough fella, but he always struck me as a bit of a PowerPoint manager. I've said this before. You know, I'm sure he could write you a damn good thesis on how to run a football club and how to manage a football team and everything else. But unfortunately, putting it into practice, as he proved with us and in his subsequent jobs, he's found more difficult. That's not to say he won't be a good manager. You know, he's got the tools and he's got the personality. But you know that's only one part of the job. You've got to be able to actually put it into practice. So I hope he's a success. I genuinely do, because he's a nice enough bloke. You know, and there's not that many of them around in football, is there? But he's got to be able to step over that line and actually do it rather than talk about it and teach it and lecture it. them that do teach, them that can't teach, them that can do it. Is the old phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, it is absolutely. And we've all known that. Last week, back on the train, we've all known this for years. Nobody likes a "I told you so" merchant because there's nothing worse. But we've all known this for years about the training facilities. Warney talked about it when he first came.
Yeah.
Liam Richardson did as well after, didn't he?
Loads of Liam Richardson. I won't be surprised he mentioned training ground in every interview he did. Liam Richardson, to be honest, he mentioned it so often. So if anybody thought it was breaking news about the training ground being not very good, I think I was not quite accurate.
Wheelie bins for hot tubs as well in it, apparently.
Is what?
Wheelie bins for like hot tubs and baths and stuff in it, apparently as well.
But what I would say is when Matt Taylor was here, they did rent out and bring to the training ground one of them ice chambers, whatever they're called, cryo chambers. Yeah, that was brought to the training ground when we're in the run up to survival. So there was a little bit of something. I'm not saying it's amazing because it's not, but it was something. Anything else you want to add on that little segment?
No.
Wonderful. So check out, if you want more of Matt Taylor, check out Gab Sutton because he interviewed him. Right, we're going to have a quick intermission. We're going to listen to Millermen, to be honest with you. So I'm going to 2 minutes of Millermen, which is a bit more early, and then we'll be back to talk about Lenny Agbear, Kean Spence, and a bit more of Luton Town.
Being a Rotherham fan, it was an absolute pleasure to be involved and spearhead the Millermen 25 project with Kev Johnson and John Breckin, and a group of amazing people who all worked incredibly hard to make the event at Millmore back in January and the subsequent vinyl release in June so special. Altogether, we all raised just over £20,000 for the Rotherham Hospice. It didn't hit me just how special it was, though, until the day when I met you all when you come and collected your vinyl at the playback party down at the hospice shop in Parkgate. You would all tell me one by one your individual stories of the day and what motivated you to be there. It became quite clear that we had all together created an emotional experience for every one of us, whether that be memories of our football club or the anticipation or excitement of standing in the ground for the first time in 17 years. Most of all, though, it was to remember times with our family and friends, and to stand where we once stood or sat with our loved ones that are no longer with us. And it was no different for me, because as soon as the event finished, I went straight over to Millmore Lane to find the seat where me, my brother and cousin would sit with my Uncle Royce, who left us 4 years ago today. I just had 5 minutes sitting there and remembering special times with incredibly special people. It was very much a treasured experience for us all, and I'm incredibly proud to have played my part in the event. It really is our little piece of history, and it will live forever. To celebrate what we all created, I'm playing a show on the 29th of November at Cutler's Arms in Rotherham, in aid of the Millermen 25 project, meaning all profits go to Rotherham Hospice, in what I hope will prolong the project's positive impact on the local community and be a night of celebration for our town. Tickets are available now on ctickets.com, or you can buy physical tickets from Cutler's Arms, Chantry Brewery or the Rotherham Hospice. I'll see you there.
There you go. The video didn't go on to start with. It was still with us for another 2 seconds. But there we go. I forgot how cold it was on that day. Watching that video back.
Yeah.
We were freezing. On one of the good days of last season. Not many of those around. Right. Let's move on to Lenny Agbear, Mick. He's going for a surgery. But he might be back before Christmas. And Christmas is only, 6 weeks away? So it's obviously a very, very minor surgery to fix whatever this minor problem is, which, if it's going to solve the problem, this is kind of good news.
Yeah, it's really good news. It just makes you wonder why we didn't do it to start with, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's minor surgery and it's going to be 4 or 6 weeks, I get. Obviously, there are other parts to this story, with the lack of centre halves that we've got. Yeah, for me, it's good news. Let's get it sorted once and for all, and then he can move on and restart his career, because he's going to be a hell of a footballer, that lad. He really is. Yeah. And the sooner we can get him back, the better. We can get some zeros put on its value. Yeah, good luck to lad. I hope he gets it sorted as quickly as possible, and it'd be great to see him back for Christmas. Definitely.
Yeah. Scott and a few of them mentioned the JJ surgery. How many is that? Still? It's been many for JJ.
Yeah.
I'll just touch on the Curacao and Ajani Martha stuff. Curacao have 2 more qualifiers left. If they win both of them, they will automatically qualify for the World Cup. They play tomorrow midnight, so Friday midnight against Bermuda, and then Wednesday 1:00 in the morning. So it'll be late back again for us. But again, if they qualify for the World Cup, who cares? Another man that's got another injury, Sam, although this might be minor, is Marvin Coletta. He managed to play 10 minutes or whatever it was, less than 10 minutes, I think, actually.
I think it was about 1.
Yeah, and Lincoln and Matt Hampshire said he felt his groin after training on Tuesday. Now, the good thing is that press conference was Wednesday, so there are 2 more days, but Marvin Coletta is such a handful when he's fit again. If you can get some of that available, even if he is just an impact player off the bench, my God, he's useful. But injured again is just another trend like we're seeing with a few others.
We can't catch a break of it, can we? It seems like a lifetime since I've seen either Coletta or Lenny play.
Yeah.
Both of them, I think, start season, were both singing the praises, and then all of a sudden they both vanished. And Coletta were a weird one because no one really mentioned him in terms of being injured or when he was due back. Everyone else is like, 4-6 weeks, but he was just vanished and then rocked up for a minute and then injured again. But yeah, we need him. If he's not going to be playing this weekend, though, is he?
No.
What?
Unlikely.
2 minutes end.
Again.
Ease him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do with him now. We could do with him. Especially when Martha goes out on international duty. That is someone you can do with.
Yeah, absolutely is. Manager month, Matt Hampshire's been nominated for Manager month. I don't think he'll win because Dave Challoner at Stockport got 4 wins out of 4. And we only picked up 10 points from that. So I think it's unlikely he's going to win, which is good. We don't want him to win anyway because we all know the curse. We all know he's done a fantastic job, and that's all that kind of matters really as fans and players, I suspect. But rightly kind of nominated. It's good recognition for the month we've had and the turnaround that we've had over the last, obviously for October, but for the weeks after that in November as well.
100%. And he'll win it sometime this season, I'm sure. If things continue to improve at the rate that they're improving, I don't think there's any doubt he'll win it at some point. But we're not that bothered, like you said, because the cursed manager of the month means that you lose your next game. So I don't know if Stockport have got on Saturday or after it's announced.
Well, they lost, didn't they? They lost to Luton, didn't they?
No,
last week.
So. Yeah. So that's sorted that one out. Yeah, it's fully deserved. It's fully deserved, isn't it? Without a doubt.
Yeah, it is absolutely. If none of Rotherham players got nominated for Player of the Month, but if you had to pick a Rotherham player for October, who would have been your pick for that month? Who stood out in those 4 games that we played? We won 3 of them, drew 1 of them, obviously, as well. Anybody?
Would you look past Hamish Douglas at the moment?
No, that's true, actually.
I mean, there's been some great performances, some fantastic performances. But Hamish Douglas, given his age, given his lack of experience, and the fact that he's playing out of position, he's been amazing. But Scott's nailed it, hasn't he? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. He should be player of the season for the league, quite frankly.
Fair enough.
He's been outstanding, hasn't he? And he Port Vale fans off as well. So, it's a win-win there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Philip says Rafferty, worth a mention, Spence, Douglas as well. Douglas didn't play until the cup game the day, which was actually in November. But yeah, anybody else, Sam, that's worth mention?
Reece James as well, probably.
He's been solid. He's been back to being solid, hasn't he?
Him and Rafferty are just reliable, aren't they? Very rarely get injured. If it is, it's 1 game. not 5 months out. So yeah, that's always a positive as well.
I mean, if you drop back to October, you've got Zach Jules as well.
That's true.
Who were massive in October, and it's a huge loss for us, for him. And Baptiste was also huge. You know, those two absolutely hit their straps in October and were unstoppable. They were fantastic. So yeah,
Baptiste especially were coming into some serious form as well, weren't he?
Yeah, he was.
The worry for those two is because it took them both ages. It took them both time to get into the swing of things. I wonder how much time it's going to take them again, because they're going to be back probably before Christmas, and we ain't got time to wait around at Christmas, have you? 4 games in 10 days, whatever it is, you can't wait around. But we just nice to have bodies back, I suppose. Harry says Hampshire Senate Press is hoping to have one centre half back on. Who's that going to be? Because they're all injured. Also, Tom Holmes is ineligible. So I think Tom Holmes probably, if we were playing Reading this week, I think we'd have seen Tom Holmes, maybe not start. Yeah, I think we've seen Tom Holmes. Who's that centre half that's coming back then? Because I struggle to think of him.
You know, on an interview, it looked like really like you were hiding something, but I couldn't think of anyone who were coming back.
No, I couldn't.
Given the 2 injuries that they got, that Jules and Baptiste got, were both tight something or other. So it was a tight hamstring, it was a tight groin, was it? I can't remember. It wasn't actually an injury,
right?
You know, a tear, or a pull, whatever. I don't know.
Scott Kinson rags, I guess, but Paul Davis has confirmed he's out for a couple of weeks at this point. You might be right, Mick. He might be one of Jules or Baptiste coming back a little bit quicker.
Be a big boost if it was.
I want it just, yeah.
You know, you get Zach Jules back at left side of centre half, at the side of Hamish Douglas, Joe Rafferty, and James then put James out onto that left as a left wing back. It'd be massive for us. It'd be huge. And Jules was training. Harry's got that right. Yeah, he was. I remember seeing that.
Have we worked it out? We worked out Matt Hamshaw's big secret.
It's like transferring all over again, isn't it?
But yeah, I remember seeing that. I meant to mention it to somebody and then realised there were nobody here, so they were interested.
Retirement's really kicked in for me.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see. Then that'd be interesting. And be very, very useful. Just on a couple of former Millers that we might come up against Saturday. Hacks probably won't start, but might. He's coming back from an injury. He picked up an injury. Well, they found an injury during his medical, apparently, but still signed him anyway because they thought it was worth it. And it's Hakeem Adolfin, of course, he's worth it. So Hacks is kind of working his way back into it, so might not play. Cohen Bramwell will play. Luton fans seem to quite like him.
Prime Roberto Carlos now, isn't he?
I know. He scored 2 of them, apparently. That's his second one.
Yeah, I think one was start of season or pre-season.
So yeah, Hacks maybe Cornwell's finally found his club, which is good for him. He also played with Jack Wilshere. He was at Arsenal at the same time Jack Wilshere was. So there's a bit of a connection there for him as well going forward. There is there a third? Jerry Yates is there as well, but I forget about Jerry Yates to be honest. Anyway. Well, so I'm sure if Hacks comes on, he'll get a really good reception from the Millers fans. Less so Cohen Bramwell. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that one.
We could do him at back, to be honest.
We
could do him at back, to be honest.
Yeah. That's true. Very true. In terms of players coming back, though, Sam, there is one positive, which is Keane Spence. Now, Hammy was a bit kind of coy, as he should be, I suppose, about whether he will be back to start or bench. But there is, as you mentioned a bit ago, there is a gap to fill with the Johnny Martha on international duty. So it wouldn't be a surprise at all to see Keane Spence come back in, would it? Just to start.
No, definitely not. And he gets about, I'm sure he'll be fit enough to start and play a substantial amount of time. Even if you did bring him off the bench, he's not end of world because it's just extra legs, isn't it, to rat around. I don't know. Well, it's going to have to be probably Powell on that left-hand side, though, isn't it?
Yeah. After Powell talking about it earlier week about it not being necessarily his position, now he's probably going to have to play there again.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bet he's fuming every time Martha's been called up. He's like, here we go.
Yeah, unless it is that Jules back, I think. Yeah, I don't see a workaround, Mick, for left wing back. Do you see anybody else that could fill you? You can maybe put Hall across there, but then you kind of stuck for right wing back if Clatter's not fit.
Yeah, he's got. We're stuck as we are at the moment. Like I say, if Zach Jules is back, then it opens that up massively. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we're right. I mean, the thing is, he won't risk Zach Jules for the full 90 minutes, will he?
No.
So we'll have to see how that pans out. But I'm kind of quite giddy now. I'm just sat here thinking about the fact that I'd seen him in training, and hang on a minute, wait a minute. I'm quite giddy.
Yeah. Well, let's
have a centre half playing. It'd be amazing if we actually could have an actual Pucker Gent centre half on pitch.
I know, but not playing at centre at 3.
I mean, how amazing would that be?
It'd be the first time in a little while.
I can't remember.
And there might be 2 next week with Tom Holmes coming back and all.
Oh, stop it now. Stop it. You're just being silly now.
Or he might have just got Ayala in on a free agent.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? To be fair, Zach Jules injured would last longer than Daniel Ayala would on pitch, to be honest. But yeah. The only question that kind of leaves itself up for debate, bearing in mind what we've mentioned, Sam, is the striking situation. Nombe will play. We all know Nombe will play. That's without question. The question then becomes: are you playing Jordan Hugill again, or are you playing an extra man in midfield with probably Benson to go in behind Nombe? Which angle or which side would you come down on that little decision?
That's a good question. That I'd probably have to start with 2 of them. They have played well together.
Yeah.
Well, you never know when you're going to need Hugill at centre back.
True.
So, all your eggs in one basket. So
I think you do know, Sam. It'll be at some point during game.
That's what I'm thinking. About 50th minute, Hugill gets it back. Part bus. Now, I would start them 2 up front. I think is Sharif fit?
Should be.
Unless
everything smells
keep
wrong.
him on bench. I'd keep him on bench and then just chuck him on with 20 minutes to go or something. He's handful when he's coming off at bench, isn't he?
Yeah, big time. Apparently, Hamshaw said that Martin Sharif can be a household name, but it was then behind a paywall that I wasn't paying for at the Football League paper. So I couldn't read the article, but apparently Matt Hamshaw is really talking Sharif up, which is not a surprise because he's going to be a very, very good player.
Could be a household name when he stays fit.
When he stays fit, when everything's decided, he can play for longer than 45 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Like an household name. Yeah, come on, Everton, sort yourselves out. I'm going to go the opposite, Sam. I would start Nombe and play Benson because I'm desperate for Benson to get back to a bit of form. Because when he came on last week, I thought there was something there. And also, I think this is the perfect game for Hugill to come on late on in game. Whether we're chasing at 1-0 or 2-1 down or whatever, or whether we're winning the game, it just feels like a game where we can really frustrate them. And if you're Luton and it's 1-1 or you're losing 1-0, you don't want to see Jordan Hugill coming off the bench. I just think in this specific game, I just think he'd be more effective as a sub player.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think he's more likely to impact the game, this game, from that. And it gives him a bit of a rest as well because he's had a tough whole couple of months. And then we do need to get Benson back into some sort of form, and he can score from anywhere, can't he, that lad? You know, so and Nombe just gives you that career type pressing up front as well. So no, I think I'm probably with you. I think I'd bring him off at bench to cause mayhem for the last 20 minutes because he will.
Oh God,
there's no doubt about it. He will.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Scott Kent says they need some pace on that side because he's referring to our left side. Because Jones have got for Luton, he's like lightning. Isaiah Jones or Isaac Jones, who was at Middlesbrough, I think. They're clearly pace merchants, aren't they? Jones on one side, Cohen Bram on the other. Sit deep for an hour, don't concede, hit him on break, and then the last 20 minutes push it, and we all. It's the old tactic against teams that are.
Yeah, don't have Rafferty or James out on wings.
No.
I think you got Denzel Hall.
Denzel Hall will be fine.
Denzel Hall up against Cohen Bramall, and I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one man coming out on top on that. There's only one man. It's Denzel Hall every day a week.
Do you think?
There's not.
Bramall's
I don't
fast,
think
though,
there's
isn't
a better defensive wing back in the league than Denzel
No,
Hall.
but I meant for out and out pace.
Oh, pace wise, yeah, pretty close.
Mm.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I thought you meant as on the footballing side.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, pace.
Yeah, fair enough. Pace, Brown might win that. But you
What
could
about
see
Nombe
Denzel Hall.
though? Do you think Nombe's faster?
Yeah, deceptively quick in Nombe. He doesn't look at. I think over 100 meters. I think Nombe would probably edge it. Over like a 40-yard sprint, I think Bramall wins quite easy.
We need to put it to test.
We do. We've no way of doing that, but we should.
Instead of a guest appearance next time, just stood in a field.
Yeah, trying to injure some professional footballers who are worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. Right. Let's move on to some score predictions. As I mentioned at the start of the show, Sam's league standing is pretty impressive. I ain't got the graphic for everybody to see on here, but I did post it out a few days ago. So whoever isn't watching, Sam's on about 20 million points. League leader Mick's having a bit of a stinker. I think were you still bottom, Mick? No, you're not bottom. No. Apologies. That's rude of me.
Listen, I was 1 goal away from top 3 on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean that still wouldn't have put you anywhere near Sam.
No, but it's a marathon, this mate, not a sprint.
Yeah, that's true.
Sam has 20 points. The closest is Andrew, who has 12. So there's an 8-point gap going into how many games have we had? 12.
Early doors, mate. Early doors.
That is a lot of points. That is a lot of points so far. Danny is bottom of the league currently with just 6 points. Ben might be doing better if he remembered to respond to my text messages. But he's off being big time, Billy big time in Mexico, isn't he? Bless him. So yeah, we will go as 3 for predictions. I haven't got anybody to do my score prediction this week, but I will do my own.
Has John not replied?
John hasn't replied. I don't think. Let me check. No, John hasn't replied. I'll get John to do next week instead. Mick, you can start us off though. What do you think?
I'd love to predict a win. I genuinely would, and I'm not. I kind of think we might sneak a win.
Okay.
I kind of think we might sneak a win, but I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh, that's a steal.
No, stuff it. I'm going to be positive. 2-1 Millers.
Okay.
I'm going for it. Nah, stuff it.
See, this is in last season when you became a realist because you didn't like Steve Evans. It won you loads of points.
Well, it was obvious. It was like shooting fish in a barrel with him, weren't it? We were just going to lose everything.
But now you're being positive. It doesn't seem to be suiting you.
It's not my personality, mate. I don't know where you've noticed.
Fair enough. I am going to steal your 1-1. I think we sneak a draw. I think we go ahead and I think they pull us back and it becomes a tight finish. But I wouldn't count us out whatever the score is. Sam, what do you reckon?
See, I had a feeling it was going to be a draw, and then I looked at last 2 times we've been, and it's been a draw. I want to say a 0-0 because I can't even remember last time we've had a boring 0-0.
Oh, it has been a while. You're right. There must have been some last year though.
I don't think there were.
There was boring. I don't know how many 0-0s.
Oh yeah. I don't. It was boring, but we were getting battered.
Yeah.
We drew 0-0 with Salford in the League Cup, but it was in the League Cup, so it don't really count, does it, in terms of that? You're right. We haven't got lots of 0. We haven't got many 0-0s.
I feel like we drew one.
We drew in Chesterfield again in the which was the Virtue Trophy. We had 0 league. Oh, we did 0-0 against Bristol Rovers last year when we battered them and their keeper had a worldie.
Yeah.
That was the last 0-0.
I'm going to go with 0-0.
Okay.
Ambitious.
Fair. YouTube says 3-2 to us. He's gone the opposite of a 0-0. Darren Cook says 2-1 for us. Harry's saying 2-0 to the Luton. Jeremy going 1-0 to us, and Paul going 2-1 to us. A mixture of positive and negative, which is better than where we would have had 6 weeks ago. So yeah. Let's give you some information and stats and ref stuff. The referee is Craig Hicks. He hasn't refereed us for 3.5 years. The last refereed us away at Wickham in 2022. And the reason you don't remember him is because it was
that referee match.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't refereed anybody since then. He only just woke up from a coma.
Yes, you're wondering why you don't remember him. It's because we've all wiped that game from our memory because it was a horrific game of football.
Yeah.
The last time we beat Luton was at Luton, which was a 4-2 win in 2009. So a little while ago, although we haven't played him very much. I think we've only played him like 4 times since then, to be fair. So it's not like it's a Lincoln-style terrible run like they have against us. But yeah, that's all the information I have for you. Finish on Rob saying, don't think the matchup suits us with the pace they have. And he goes for a 3-1 defeat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's wait and see. I think we're in a good place where I wouldn't bet against us. You know, go 2-0 down, I still back us to come get some out of the game because that's where we are at the minute.
Yeah.
And that is generally the Rotherham way in it. Never saying die. That's what we do as Rotherham United. Has you boys got anything else you want to mention before we knock it on Ed?
No, I don't think so. Have I mentioned Cutler's Arms on 29th of November?
No, what's happening there?
No, I'm not mentioning that again.
Okay. Scott, okay. Wasn't the ball in play for about 28 minutes of the 90 against Wickham? Probably less than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which
Matt Amthorpe said that's one thing he doesn't like in football that he changes. You seen the press conference?
Yeah, I did. I didn't agree with him. I didn't agree. He wants to have a referee in each half as well.
Oh, that was controversial. Yeah, don't know. That's
very controversial. Yeah,
I'd go all the way, just not have one at all.
Was free for all playground rule.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Decide amongst yourself whether you think it's a foul or not.
Especially if you had one from other day and like Bobby Madley or something, like in opposite ones. You'd be praying to shoot other ways second half, depending on who's in there.
Yeah, you got Gavin Ward in one half and Bobby Madley in other. Oh God, bury it now.
Yeah. There we go. We will knock it. We've not even made an hour tonight, but I'm not surprised because there's nothing to really talk about. And I think that's a good thing, really, isn't it? You know, early in the season when we were having a poor run, there were loads to talk about. It's nice, it's calm, it's maybe a little bit boring, but I prefer this. I much prefer this than having a whinge.
You're jinxing that.
You are?
I think you're jinxing that.
I am jinxing. I mean, I'm just trying to enjoy it while it's here, to be honest.
I'm
just trying to embrace it. It's like summer, just taking the sun while it's here, because it won't last forever.
No, I suppose Luton's not a bad team to end your run. Yeah. If it's gonna end, I wouldn't mind it being Luton. If it were like Donny or
Peterborough or something like that,
or Peterborough or Plymouth, that's no good.
Agree. If you're gonna lose a game, do it away at Luton because they will be up there in the season. Andrew Barlow says even Radio Sheffield are praising us with the current form and all their injuries. Yeah, it's like they've been listening to the number one Northern Pocket there. Anything else you want to mention before we knock it on Ed?
I know. I think we might be having Leon on Sunday. That's all.
Yes. Well, so if we do lose on Saturday, we'll cheer you up by speaking to Lee on Sunday. If we do win, we're going to celebrate by having Leon on Sunday. So it's the way around. We want to read it. If you haven't done so already, please do make sure you subscribe. We're now less than 50 subscribers away from 2,000. We need 48, I think, to hit 2,000 subscribers. Please make sure you do so if you haven't done so already. And if you are watching, give the video a thumbs up as well, because that's so other people know that you think this is an okay football show. If you want some more stuff, the Luton preview tomorrow with Luke or Liam Williams. I'm going to check because it's Luke gets his name wrong. What I do know is he was really, really good. Lewis.
We're close.
I really enjoy speaking to him. He's got his own YouTube channel, which is really, really good as well. So if you haven't done so well, check that out tomorrow and check him out as well, because it's really good. We will then be back on Saturday evening with instant reaction, which we may even have Tom from the ground, maybe, which will be funny and hilarious from somebody's back garden. If you're listening on iTunes, and make sure you subscribe, 5-star rating, whatever your thing allows you to do. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Sam. We will see everybody next time. Thank you all for watching. And as always, Up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
Comes for more. 2 for Jensen, 2 for Rotherham. Shoots! Ravel. Vicious. Brilliant! The sweetest feeling for Rotherham United. Wood's got round the back. And Richard Wood